Hello, ladies and gents. You are watching Entrepreneur's Diary presented by Solo Premium Banking. I'm Valerian Gegidze, entrepreneur and investor from Tbilisi, Georgia, and I'll be your host today. Today, my guest is Zurab Aitsuradze, my good friend, business partner, and CEO of company Team Up, who helps international companies to build remote teams in Georgia and whole Caucasus region. Zurab, how are you?
Good. Ready for the interesting talk.
Let's spread the light about Georgian benefits and talent. So, tell me, what is it you do at Team Up and how you ended up here?
As a CEO and director of Team Up, I'm basically overseeing all the operations and managing the business, mostly the boring part of the business, which is the operations and finances, but generally all the general management, so to say.
What is Team Up doing by what is its essence?
In Team Up, which we started up in 2020, we decided to help businesses overseas to scale up in terms of the human resources and to do it in the fast, quality and affordable way. So if you are the company who is scaling up and you need the workforce, and by the way, it can be any type of workforce and any type of job which can be performed remotely, we will kick in and we will tailor look. We can find the fit talents for you in 1 to 2 weeks.
Yep.
It can be even faster. It will be more affordable, 30 to 50% more affordable compared to your own country.
Right.
And the workforce will be significantly more motivated to stay with you long term.
Sounds like a good deal.
Yes, and it worked. Idea, which was initially just an idea, we rolled it out and we saw that it was really working and we grew quite fast.
Let's tell the soul of the company. Me and Zura, we know each other since childhood, so we went to same university, same school in a ghetto district, like the most ghetto districts. At that time, we also had a hair.
Yeah.
Not a curly hair, but it was...
there was something at least.
And, after all those times, we kept in touch. He relocated to Kazakhstan, before that to Ukraine, worked for KPMG. I moved to Germany, and somehow we interconnected at the end of 2020 when I decided to start the Team Up company with German co-founders at that time, and I was looking for a CFO. I found out that he moved from Kazakhstan to Georgia. His twin brother told me about that, and I said, I want to talk. And since the first conversation, you trusted me. Thank you for trusting at that time, because we didn't have anything, no money, literally no traction, and you just said yes. So, what triggered it, man?
Well, first of all, I believed in the idea, honestly, and then obviously the big part of the deal was the trust between us that was there.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew you from my childhood years. Even back then, when I'm remembering now, you were also standing out from this crowd that we grew up in. You were also wearing these colorful clothes, which back then was something strange.
That's true.
Because back then it was cool to wear only black things, like I'm wearing now, for some reason. But back then, wearing the shorts, pink shorts, for example, it was not manly thing to do. And you and us, we were both kind of. We had the feeling that we don't quite belong there in that crowd, and it obviously played the role, and then obviously the business principles, the ethics, and the trust is the foundation of why I chose to work with you, and it eventually played out quite well. And now, we're doing not only this business, but several other businesses together.
So this collaboration has started a Team Up today. It emerged into many, many companies which are growing in not only our families and our community, but also it's good for our country, right? Because since beginning of 2021, we managed to hire hundreds of people, not only in Georgia, but outside, like Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Egypt, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. So I think that's fascinating story for growing the country as an emerging hub, and I think we did our part in this. What do you think what helped us to do this, besides obviously a good talent locally?
I think first is, I would say, talk about the internal factors, which is the cooperation. I mean, between us. That was the foundation of why we think we succeeded. It is the fact that we both know what we don't know. And once you know what you don't know on what's your weakness, you start looking for someone who can complement this weakness.
Right.
And for example, like to me, I'm the finance and operations guy, right? I can build things and then set it up and control. I can tell you how to do things, and you're the person who can tell what to do and why. This entrepreneurial, visionary type of guy who has the ideas and who can lead to the main goal and idea, which I cannot do. For example, this is my weakness, right? I'm good at doing this boring part of the job. And other way around, you need someone by yourself who can implement the ideas and visions that you have. So I think we complemented each other quite well. This was the first factor. Second was obviously the market. I mean, I think whichever idea you could have, and maybe even perfect one, if the market is not ready, I mean, you cannot do it. It's simply not doable. So I think we just hit the market in the very right time. And third is, again, like resources, like talents. We happen to be right in thinking that Georgian talents would be the ones who will be motivated and talented to export the intellectual property of Georgia.
I agree. Yeah, I think you made the right highlights on those topics. Let's talk more about the resources that we actually have and probably the strategy, because the company Team Up, by essence, it's not tailored to one specific framework or stack or the industry. It's basically a platform which connects companies and the best talent in the most easy and fast way possible. So under one platform, you have vetted talent pool, employer of record, payroll, benefits, equipment, workspaces, and anything in between. So it's super easy plug-and-play setup to set up your whole team under one day, right? Obviously, it takes time to find people, but overall, the setup is very smooth. So let's share more insights to our clients and people who are interested. What is that they get while working with Team Up and how it's different from all others?
So first thing is that you have the talents available on the platform, right? It's that easy. I mean, you can scroll up and down, filter out the roles and jobs and the experiences that you are looking for, and you can get the candidates that you want to that video interview later. Then once you have the video interviews with them and you're set, then the thing is that basically you don't do anything besides first interviewing them and then clicking yes, and that's it, you're set. Right. You can get this guy the employment agreement or maybe freelance agreement, the health insurance, office space benefits, I don't know, some specific equipment that you want him or her to have. So basically, all the boring part of the job is taken care by us. You just do some clicks, spend some time in screening the candidate for your own needs, and that's it. It literally can happen in a couple days, which is for most of the Western countries, it's undoable because the legal framework in Georgia allows you to be that flexible. This is, by the way, this is one thing that helped us a lot in developing that. The framework legally in the country is very flexible compared to the most of the Western countries, which is significantly more regulated.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Georgia uses all international GDPR and labor codes implemented, and it's fully compliant, which makes stuff easier and more smoother compared to other countries.
Yeah, exactly. The thing I mentioned about the legal framework is that, for example, if someone wants to have more regulations, we can totally have it, and it's not an issue. The thing is that the basic one is very narrow. Then if someone wants to have the specific regulations in, let's say, for intellectual property rights, personal data protection, etc., it's totally doable. We have the lawyer from Germany who knows exactly what are the regulations in EU, for example, for the employment leasing business, and all our business setup is fully compliant to the international legal standards.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that we are really settled with European labor code, with the UK and with the US one, and obviously international.
Yeah.
So what is the clients that are actually utilizing those services and having remote teams here in Georgia and other countries?
Usually they're not the enterprises, although we have a couple of those, but generally our, I would say, standard client is the SME, who is in the growth stage, who got the financing and who got some investment and wants to scale up fast. And also, not only scale up, it's like scale up and down. The companies currently want to be flexible.
Right.
They don't want to be overcommitted to the huge regulations in terms of employment. They want to be ready for ups and downs because the business domain today is very dynamic. I mean, things can go up and down quite fast. So they want to be flexible. They don't want to have huge commitments towards the big workforces locally. And this is why I think our service is fitting well with our clients.
Gotcha. And where the clients mostly come from? So which are the most famous countries?
Well, we started with EU countries initially. Then we got to the northern side of the Baltics, then Nordic countries, then UK from the last 2 years, and the US. This is our main, I would say, countries of focus, where our services are already working, and we know that we got traction there in those markets.
What industries are mostly interested in hiring talent in Georgia?
See, good thing is that I would not say that we are specifically concentrating on one industry. And if you look at our portfolio of the industries that we offer the talents for, it's quite balanced. I would say there is no one industry that dominates the others. But again, obviously, tech is there for sure. Yeah, basically, I would say tech, marketing, business development, operations, and administrative stuff.
Gotcha. And the client profiles, as far as I remember, majority of the clients, they come from the e-commerce. So it can be an agencies or online stores. We have a lot of individuals who are hiring virtual assistants or customer support and maybe sales developers. We have also quite fast growing cybersecurity industry, right? And I believe startups overall.
I forgot to mention the cybersecurity, which grew quite fast recently, and it's quite obvious why. And I think this is the one thing that will grow even further, because this area is developing quite fast, and this now AI and GN also is growing quite fast, and it's a huge shortage. And now people, for example, they want experts in the field. So the time that this field became popular is so short that you lack the experts there who would have like 5, 10, 15 years of experience, because it's only just last, I don't know, couple of years, let's say 5 years, that people started to get interested in this field. But we'll come there. I mean, I think more and more people realize that AI is the future, and we have a specific direction now to take care of this field. We want basically to grow the talents for this specific field and then offer to the market in batches, let's say 10, 15, 20 specialists for AI, let's say.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful, and definitely AI is the future. If we utilize it correctly, then every single role can get upskilled and updated.
Yeah.
So as a company, besides saving around 50, 60, or sometimes 70% on my salaries that I would pay in Europe or USA, in US it can be even more, up to 80%. What is I get besides, say, cost optimization?
I would say it's an attitude.
Okay.
Because this is the thing which I did not understand before. When my clients would tell me that, we don't get the talent, I could not understand it. But then, the more I understood the problem, the more I got the why clients love our talents. Because, for Georgian person to work for the international project for I don't know, European or US or UK project or startup, it's something that is quite attractive. And they would love to stay with them as long as possible and build something interesting together with them. And this makes them motivated. Versus in many of the developed world countries, this is the problem, because most of the people, I keep hearing it all the time, that there's simply no one who would apply for the job.
That's true.
Literally zero. I mean, like I was talking to the HR of one of our clients, and she was like, she posted the job, and there was literally zero applications. So and we don't have it here. I mean, in our part of the world, people are still, you get plenty of people who are motivated to find better jobs.
When I'm outside of the country on the conferences, I always say that Georgian talent are the best because of the culture. And here's why. So in our wings, hospitality is deep there, right? And it's based on a tradition that whoever comes to our country, we serve them, we show them around, and we are happy about it. And we're not expecting anything in return. So if you translate this into the work, then you obviously get a cheerleader, a real team member, and not just a guy who works from 9 to 5. So I think that's what stands out. Also, English language skills and other languages. So what do you think? What are the main languages that people here speak?
Obviously, English is quite widespread. I think 40% of the youngsters are fluent in English, and the rest is quite comfortable with English. And even German is popular because we have several German schools and universities in Georgia. And obviously we have, and by the way, Russian language is also quite popular, and it's a good mix of, like me, myself, for example, I'm fluent in Georgian, English and Russian, right? So the mix of knowing English and Russian together, it's quite a good combo.
Right.
Because in our region, since doing business with those two languages makes you open to a lot more opportunities.
Exactly. For those who don't know, Georgia is an emerging hub of the talent where we specialize in different languages. So we speak very good English, Russian, German, French, Italian, a little bit of Spanish, and you can find some other European languages as well. And big outsourcing companies have their branches here, even enterprises like TikTok, Majorel, the big names. So it's going to be quite a long list, but they do have their setups across Tbilisi, Kutaisi, Batumi, and other cities of Georgia. And one spoiler, one of the biggest gaming company is relocating now to Georgia. Not fully, but they're one of the branches from the Xbox is coming to Tbilisi. So we're going to have probably some new games in Xbox related to Georgia.
Talking about several hundred people.
That's right. And that's for the reason, because of the talent, because of the opportunities, and also the low cost of living.
Yeah, and strategic location.
That's true. What kind of roles besides the customer support and sales people are looking in Georgia?
As I mentioned, it's AI related, cybersecurity related, e-commerce related a lot, and digital marketing.
Okay.
So those are the fields that we are getting a lot of requests.
Right.
And I would say in bulk also.
So if I'm a client and I want to have a team of random roles, how much I'll be paying for employment? What are the fees, and how does it work? Just run me through the process.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have the marginal setup fee, which is 200 euros fixed. And then on a monthly basis for administrative and tax and legal compliance and administration of the payroll, we have the fixed 200 euros. And that's it. Right. I mean, there are no any hidden costs whatsoever. Obviously, the client can build up on those and add the private health insurance, the equipment leasing and office leasing, etc. But the basic is only one-time fee for 200 euros for setup, and the monthly fee for the talent management and payroll 200 euros per month, and that's it.
I think it's very affordable, because if you compare how much it costs globally, like all the big names, like Deal, Remote.com, Oyster, sorry guys, you're a little bit expensive, and some of the bigger names, they also utilize our services here in the region because it's the most affordable and we have local expertise.
We don't sell the blah, 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 we sell the solutions.
Yeah. Thank you for taking time.
Anytime.
It was really interesting as always. Ladies and gents, let's move to the other part of the story and get the client experience to understand what have they gone through during working with remote teams in Georgia. Today, I have great couple, our long clients and amazing entrepreneurs, co-founders of Yourcoach health tech company from US, Marina and Eugene. Thank you very much for coming here. I really appreciate the time and the flight you've taken, a long trip.
Well, thank you for having us. It's great to be back in beautiful Georgia. It's just been absolutely amazing every time we've been here. And you and your team, always the red carpet and the biggest welcome, so it just feels great to be here. So thank you for that.
What was the last time you were here?
We were just kind of trying to figure it out. I think in 22, right around New Year's, which is I think when we reconnected, because I think we connected on LinkedIn randomly ages ago.
Yeah, we were here and, we just saw how great everybody is and warm, because when, we build the team, it's not hard to find great talent, but it's really hard to find talent that is part of your team, that builds the product with you, that understands what you're doing and the culture. And we were just talking to everybody here, not even thinking about that. And then on the way back, we're like, how come we don't have any talent from Georgia? It was just really strange to us, And then, of course, Eugene looked on LinkedIn. He's like, oh. She's like, I got us. I got this,
We have a little bit of a running joke in the family. It's like, name a country, and then I can go on LinkedIn and who am I connected with? Just kind of prior travels and experiences. So, we connected, and it was very timely as well as the war in Ukraine broke out. So just, I think we
Well, the reason for that is because we, at that point, had a lot of talent that was both in Ukraine and in Russia.
Right.
And as a startup, we had to move a lot of our talent from Russia, all over the world, And it was great that you guys were so helpful that now we could work with them all over the world with your help.
Well, guys, it was a great experience and opportunity that you provide to us, and your trust was, game-changing. We talked a little bit of everything, but we missed the main part. What is it?
What do we do?
What do you do?
Besides hang out with great people all day, So Yourcoach.health, and we're the infrastructure layer for behavior change, powered by health coaches. So what does that mean? I know it's a tagline, right? So on one side, we have over 4,000 coaches on our platform, and we validate them with real world data. We see what they do out in the real world, how great they are with working with their clients, how great they're helping people. And then after they go through our validation process, both algorithmic and with our operations team, we contract with these coaches, and we provide health coaching services to our clients who are B2B companies, and we do this through integrating our white or gray label solution through widgets and APIs.
That sounds very smart and also very helpful.
Thank you. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, it's about helping people. We can all sit here and talk about businesses, but we have an all hands team meeting. We used to have them weekly. Now we have them every 2 weeks, where everybody gets together, and every week we share a story of an individual, de-identified, of course. There's no names, of somebody that we've helped, through health coaching, and how we were able to help them. Because everybody sits there, we have a great product team and marketing and all of that, and everybody does their job amazingly well. But I think it's really important to understand that on the other side of this, they're real humans who we're helping on a regular basis. And to me, that's truly what gets me up in the morning, even on those days where you're like, crap, shit is hitting the fan, in the startup, but when you think about how many people we're helping, it just makes it all worth it.
The reality is, and I don't think it matters whether you're in the United States or Georgia, I think, at the macro geopolitical level, there's a lot of stressors. I think, individuals, there's lots of anxiety in this world today, and it's not getting lighter. But the reality is not everybody needs a therapist, which is a very, very limited percentage of individuals that are helping. 8 out of 10 people can actually leverage a health coach to kind of talk through. And things that people coming in with is everything from loneliness to, just staying consistent to their behaviors, adhering to a care plan, to a drug plan. And so we're there. Yes, we're a for-profit business. We want to continue scaling.
Sure.
We want to, but, just because you do a social good, it does not mean you can't make money, right? So we're filling a gap with this, and we're excited to continue growing it.
Well, I think that you're doing a great job, and it's really needed. I think that the problem is also spreading here it's getting, all the stuff that's happening in the Western world, because of the progress, it keeps up after some time in our part of the world.
Yeah.
And obviously there are solutions needed, and charging right amount of money for this, I think that's the right thing to do, right? Because you already have a solution. So I really wonder how is that you get consultants and coaches on your platform. So I do believe they all have individual approach. Do you have like a framework or a blueprint how they need to treat the customers or patients?
So when they come with their own clients, they're free to practice with their own clients on our platform.
Gotcha.
Once we contract with them, there's protocols that we have, that are number one, Yourcoach protocols. And then based who our B2B client is, we have protocols that are just for them. So we do 100% quality management all the time. We make sure that they stay within scope of practice. We make sure it's not prescriptive. So it's 100% quality management. And with that whole yes, no, no, maybe no, it's not 3 strikes, you're out. If somebody doesn't adhere, because we're dealing with people on the other end of it, and we're all about doing good. So if somebody consistently goes outside the scope, they're no longer contracted with us.
Besides having a great pool of coaches, what is the main differentiator in Yourcoach and compared to other players on the market?
So every startup says that there's no competition.
Well, then nobody does what they do.
Tell me more.
So truly, in the market, we're the only solution that has this quote unquote atypical marketplace model with elastic supply. But ultimately, it's the quality of the coaching. That's, I think, one. The technology that we've developed, everything from matching the individual to the coach to continuous with anything that's opt-in. So the individual has to opt in for this, for anything opt-in, from analysis and quality management for safety, both for coach and the client.
And for our B2B client, just the ability to stand it up, literally within weeks. This is including technology, this is including operations, including everything.
Okay. May I tap into the client profiles? Like no names, nothing. Just I don't want to understand what are the client profiles that work with you or utilizing your services. Like it's most, let's say, is it logistic? Is it e-commerce? Is it like what sizes and why they choose this as well?
So in the U.S. market, when it comes to health and care, there's really at the end of the day 2 players. Right, or 3. One are the employers that are covering their employees for benefits. The other one is the government, so Medicaid and Medicare, and then the third are the consumers. Right. So we went to market, within the employer space. There's a number of solutions across. If you think about your body, right, as you may have potentially mental health issues, you may have gut issues, back and spine, MSK. So there's tons of point solutions. And so our go-to-market has been with these kind of digital health companies where we embed our health coaching as a service that can be stood up quickly, where these companies can focus on the clinical outcomes and we can focus across kind of more holistic understanding of that human. So that's been our initial go-to-market, which is still the largest base of our customers. We are now in health systems. So from a health system perspective, many health systems are launching services towards the employers directly, sort of bypassing health plans, but also activating the consumer market. And pocket. And so we're the health coaching layer there.
Okay.
As well as health plans, who are the payers ultimately.
Gotcha.
And now there's reimbursements potentially coming as well. So health plans will be covering the service at some point in time, TBD.
But as far as clients of our clients who we service, very industry agnostic, so there's aviation, like logistics, right? There's healthcare, there's, schools. I mean, there's really anything that you can possibly.
One of the largest employers in the world.
Employers,
right?
yeah, like anything you can think of, we have, we can help with that.
Because humans are humans at the end of the day.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I just wanted to, get your point if there's any specific industry who tends to, care more about their employees, but as you mentioned, it's pretty industry agnostic, and that warms my heart, to be honest.
It's more about progressive employees. I mean, we've had some surprises that logistics companies, that their employees had such a huge uptake on our services.
Okay.
Because when you think of these drivers, they're driving through the night and there's a lot of stressors, they're lonely. Like, you would never think that it's something that they would be interested in, right? Like, you would always think like office, white collar, workers, right? But no, they were so interested.
To be clear, they're not talking to our coaches while driving.
No.
So.
Okay, that was my next question. How does it work?
They're at truck stops all the time, right?
I'm familiar with this topic because a lot of Georgians leave to US, especially for this, driving jobs, driving trucks, and a few of my childhood friends are currently doing the same job, and I know they're very stressed, being out of the home like 6-7 days a week, sometimes for months, right? It's
and they come in and they expect everything to be, everybody to welcome them with open arms, and the family has been doing their thing, right? And they're just zoning in for like a day or two. It's just so we've been able to work with a lot of them.
But it's actually you bring up a lot of the truck drivers are males, right? And if we look at the statistics on mental health, the adoption of therapy is much higher in women. I think it's 24 to 27%, something like that.
Okay.
Versus a male adopted, I think it's like 12 to 16%, right? From mental health. So there's been stigma in mental health. I think we've destigmatized to a certain extent, at least in US, but still within the male population, the stigma is still much more there.
Okay.
Versus having a health coach, which is kind of cool to have a health coach, right?
Yeah.
And then, so I haven't seen the latest stats, but I think we're somewhere close to 30% male as far as the clients that we serve, or the employees or whatever. So
we call coaching like quote unquote sexy, because everybody wants to be better, to do better, just to be a better version of themselves. And a lot of people who come to us, we always say coaching and therapy can work so well together, right? They can go hand in hand. But a lot of people come in and they're like, I'm so done talking about the past, and I just want to focus on the future. I want to set some new goals, and this is what we're really great at, So 11 years ago now, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and went through everything. Had a mastectomy, had chemotherapy, radiation, you name it, and all my life, every day, to my doctors, that's who helped me be, who I am today. Well, that's who helped me be here today. But health coaching really helped me be who I am and live this new life on my own terms. So I became a health coach myself, discovered health coaching, and haven't looked back, because I just love this new focus on things, because everybody's like, go to therapy. I could not talk about cancer anymore. I was done. Had a young family to worry about, and coaching has been just an incredible force in my life.
Your story, I obviously know how you started, and I have big respect, how you evolved from that part and, bring so much value to the society and to the network and all people. It's quite rare to have people so value-driven, so strategic. Guys, I think you need an applause from everyone, for doing the great job. What's your plan? What your coach should do in next few months, next year? What we should expect?
We've never seen the future, and so I think part of it is that we all got to do the best we can with that focus and the vision, but ultimately we also want to, there's quite a lot of stuff in AI that's happening in the world, and I would almost say misconceptions of AI health coaching today. So I think that's one big lever that we have, and especially with the quality of health coaching that we provide. What else? I think.
We're always human first. Let's set the record here. But we're using a lot of AI to better what we do, and hopefully what everybody else will be doing. After Eugene and I are
Yeah.
Not only
No longer. Well, we'll still always be parents of our third baby, your coach, but
Yeah, but the goal is to continue doing great things. The goal is to bring it to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Right now, we're U.S. focused. We've had a lot of interest
outside of US.
That we're exploring right now. Of course, for us to be in any country, it has to be a large enough footprint for us to set up operations. But we're exploring that, and there's a lot of great things on the horizon.
I hope we have more people like you in our clientele, and I hope that we'll support your proper growth.
The thing I love most about working with you, but we never hear no for an answer. It's always like, we'll figure it out. Give us a minute, like we'll figure it out, And you guys have figured out a lot of things for us. We have a global team, and it's so nice, like, to have that worry out of our minds. That's not anything we ever have to worry about, that you guys are handling all of that for us, So just a huge thank you to you. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without you, and we, of course, brought a lot of our own talent to the table, but even the people that you help us find, and bring into your coach family, the talent is absolutely incredible, Like, we're interviewing for a customer service position, 4 or 5 languages these people know, It's fascinating. I'm like, are you sure this is the position that you want? What else can we have you do, right? So you built an incredible team here yourself, just seeing how everybody talks about you and the work that you do and how you do it, and with always the smile on your face, So a huge congrats to you as well, because this has just been incredible.
I don't even know what to say. Like, thank you very much. Like, from bottom of my heart, that's the motivation. To finalize, maybe you just can share some important highlights or your personal experience of working with just Georgian people, like what people should know, those who are thinking of hiring or building their remote teams in Georgia or in Caucasus, like in terms of culture, maybe salaries or the skills. What do you think is important and we missed it during this conversation?
Yeah, so, obviously we have a global team, so yeah, some of them are from Georgia, but I think it's really important before you hire anybody, for them to understand the ethos of your company, for them to understand what it is that you're building, what kind of founder you are, what are the values of the company, So whenever we bring people on, I always tell them, work-life balance is the most important thing. We are a well-being company. However, we do, we get time off to play, but we do work hard, So there are crazy hours sometimes, we're very customer driven. So they have to know what it is like to work for a company coming in, especially, we're an American company and there's a lot of different cultures that are coming together to build this business, right? So I think it's really important to be clear on expectations.
Yeah.
Right? Georgian people, what I've found is it's hard for you guys to say no. So I think it's really important to set boundaries. Like one of the guys who works for us, like I was just telling the story, like I slack all hours of day and night. Like I don't sleep, so I slack. But I say, don't answer me. Like don't answer me, answer me when it's your work hours, when you're online, and also work hours. For us, it's not important where you work or from where you work, as long as you get your stuff done, for us, it doesn't matter. And he would, like at 3 o'clock in the morning, he's like, it's done, Marina. Please, don't do this at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sleep, So I've learned that you have to set the boundaries yourself. So I no longer slack at 3 o'clock in the morning. I, schedule the message. So I think it's really important because everybody wants to please, just like as a culture in general.
Very welcoming culture.
And heartwarming, So, just like as an employer, I think it's really important to set those boundaries and for them to understand, like, you don't have to be on all the time.
That's true.
But
I think, we mentioned it earlier, right? It was our trip here that kind of was the light bulb moment of, great education here, right? Great talented workforce, very welcoming, very hardworking, and kind of like, why aren't we doing business?
But not good at selling themselves,
Yeah, that's actually
that's why we are here to sell them.
Not good at selling themselves
That's
at all. Because like very humble.
Yeah.
Right? Where when we have an interview process, like tell me about yourself. It's okay. Like this is your time to brag, and but very humble. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, that was a game-changing moment when I moved to Germany. We realized that all those countries who are doing like classical outsourcing, like Poland, Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, like all the Eastern Europe, I mean, I was seeing their ads about outsourcing, and like Georgia was never there, and that's why we just started to connect dots between Germany and Georgia, and then it evolved to wider Western world and like the whole region. And I think that your feedback overall on Georgia, it's very genuine, and like your experience while working with remote teams for so many years can be a really good recommendation and blueprint for people whoever are looking into building remote teams.
Yep.
Georgians almost need to know many other languages,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that's just an amazing. I mean, so pretty much everybody speaks English, and
Yeah.
But I think it's also like important to say this, because I know you mentioned outsourcing, and I know this is what you do for a lot of your clients.
Yeah.
But for us, it's a little bit of a different model, right?
That's right.
Because so we, they're part of Yourcoach. They're Yourcoach employees that we do the EOR through you. So I think it's important for everybody to know that you offer various services as well, right?
For us,
So,
the idea is to serve our clients well, and they have a trusted partner locally who understands, all the compliance topics or legal topics overall, and how the payroll is built. So it's not only outsourcing, but processing payroll, doing employer of record, and all the boring topics related to it.
Marina always says to all of our prospects and clients, everybody needs to do what they do best.
Exactly.
We are a health coaching company, and we work with humans.
And we do that best.
And we do that best.
Yeah.
But, when it comes to a lot of the administrative processes, we work
This is what
with
you do best.
You do
Yeah,
best,
so-
We do
right?
boring
And
part
so-
well.
and a lot more, of course, right? But
So far, it has been working really well for both of us,
It's
right?
been incredible.
One more time, I want to thank you for this experience. I hope we'll have many, many years in front of us, and it has been exciting. So let's take it the same way. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having
Madlova.
us.
Ladies and gents, thank you for watching Entrepreneur's Diary, powered by Solo Premium Banking. If you want to learn more about doing business in Georgia and the perks that it provides, subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Nachwam this.